Yay! So these pool ponds you've probably seen in a lot of areas. We need a substrate. You have two establishing rocks like right here. This solar panel right here brings energy from the sun. What's going on, Visionaries? I hope you guys are having an amazing day. So if you guys are not part of the Visionary fam, there's merch for that, which is top link in the description below. It's a bunch of new designs, so if you guys want to go check it out, that would be so appreciated. But if you're not part of the Visionary fam, being a Visionary, part of this family on YouTube, make sure you go and click that little red subscribe button down below. And also, if you could hit that little like button for me, that helps out the channel and it means a lot. So let's get to today's video. Yay! Throw! So according to these videos right here, you guys really like the videos where I build ponds and use a solar powered pump slash filter and make a cool pond out of it. So that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. So all the products that I use will be linked down in the description below. The pool ponds, the filters, and a bunch of other things I just added down in the description below. There's a little section called products I used in this video, which are the things I used specifically in that video that you guys can go and buy if you want to. So these pool ponds you've probably seen in a lot of areas. These are blue, like 3 foot by 3 foot little pools that you might use for your dog or something of the sort. But I love using them just to hold fish. So these things hold around roughly 20 gallons of water. But before we have to add the water, we need a substrate. Sometimes you don't use a substrate. And if you don't know what a substrate is, it is basically a sand, basically some type of like natural material that you put on the bottom of your setup, your tank, your pond. Sometimes people don't have those in their fish tanks because then you can actually see the poop when your fish or turtle poops, and you can suck it up easily. You don't have to scavenge around in the rocks for it to try to find it and pick it up. But today we will be using small pebbles for the pond, so let's go ahead and get those. So guys, the substrate is now in. So what we're using is basically some of these basic size pebbles. They can be up to any size, maybe up to 1 inch, maybe 2 inches. You can mix it with some bigger rocks but it's personally up to you. You can use sand, you can use whatever you guys want to. You don't even have to use a substrate, but that's just what I use today. So when you fill this up with water, because I got a lot of dirt mixed in, it's going to be dirty for a little while. But if you have a pump or a filter, and even if you don't, the sand, the dirt that is mixed up will eventually float to the bottom. So it should clear up within maybe 24 or 48 hours if it gets murky. So recently, guys, I made a video on how to make little like fish caves. The video is popping up right here if you guys want to go check it out. The card will pop up there too. So I'm going to be making a small fish cave. You guys can use this pond for, I'm probably going to get some smaller fish for the video, and then maybe end up putting them in the pond. But this is just an example of showing you what you guys can easily do on a budget at home. So we're going to make a little fish cave because fish need to hide from predators, and sometimes turtles, if you use it for that, need to hide too. So let's go ahead and build a fish cave. What I'll use today is bricks. I have one in there, and there's one hiding right there. So I'll go ahead and grab those. And I'm gonna stack them tall ways, like this tall, not this tall, but like this. Make sure it's nice and steady. And we'll grab the other one, like there. Now guys, what I taught you in last video was that you need two like establishing stones, which is what those bricks are gonna be used as. But then you're gonna either need to use a flat stone or some sort of flatter natural rock. And that's what I got today. And here it is. It may not seem flat, but it's pretty long and it will go nice on 2 little bricks on each side. So as you guys saw, I was going to use that rock, but I ended up using this one right there. Now a lot of people have sort of these bricks lying around. That's what the brick looks like. It's like one of those stacking bricks that you use for like little retaining walls. You have 2 establishing rocks, like right here, these 2 stones, pretty steady. And when you have a nice flat rock on top, it creates a little cave to where other predators cannot get to whatever you have in here. So that's what that's it. That's the fish cave. Now in the wild, or if you're fishing, or basically in the wild, you know, where there's water, you will find little fish, little creatures that are hiding under, on, and in pieces of wood. So we're going to be adding some wood to this enclosure. This is a little piece of driftwood that we're going to be using today. Nice and small, not too big. I am going to hose it off. All right, so now that this little piece of wood is cleaned off, I'm pretty happy with it. I've actually used this piece of wood before, and sometimes ants, parasites will actually hide in pieces of wood. So you don't always want to immediately like grab a piece of wood and put it in your enclosure or your pond, because that's just really not that safe. So what you want to do is actually take your piece of wood, hose it down, and sometimes a lot of your wood, it actually has to be sunken underwater for a long time for it to actually naturally sink, because otherwise it will just float up to the top. But first, to get rid of the parasites, the easiest way I like to do it, you can freeze your wood in the freezer for maybe 24 or 48 hours, and it will kill the parasites that are on this. One other way is to sink it in a hot bath or boiling water for a extended period of time, maybe 24 hours. And currently, I do not think that this piece of wood will sink, but I'll have to hold it down. Sometimes it's even okay if it just floats on the top, which is what we're going to be doing today. So we'll just go ahead and add it, and we'll just let it float, and fish can like hide under it. Just treat it like you know, different structure that's in the water. Sometimes structure floats, sometimes structure sinks, and we're gonna use ending up our floating structure. Carly wants to come in. I mean, out. You want to come out, baby girl? Come on. Yeah, it's okay. Now that we have multiple pieces of structure, such as the wood piece and the fish cave, next I'm just gonna add a main centerpiece, or maybe even like a side piece, and it's just gonna be a main piece of structure, another one. But what that means is, because we have a hide, we have wood, and just letting you know guys, sometimes wood will discolor your water, so it's not going to hurt the fish. It's not gonna hurt the fish at all unless it gets really bad, but it should only just tint your water a little bit, or none at all possibly. But we're just gonna get one more piece, a main piece that fish can't really hide, but can just kind of feel comfortable around, like in the middle of it. You ready, Carly? Yeah? You wanna go see the pond? Come on. This is technically her little pool pond we're using, so thank you, Carly, for letting us use it. So I'm just gonna try finding some unique, maybe taller rock. So I actually found a nice little tall rock right over here. So as you can see, this is the rock that we have right here. It's a nice tall rock, pretty sturdy when standing up. I could have placed it on its side, but personally I wanted to add a little bit of height because we already have some length to kind of add some contrast to it. So that's what we got for that. We got our wood. Now, before we possibly fill it up or possibly add a filter to this, I'm gonna go grab our solar powered pump. All right guys, so here is all of the filter, the pump, the solar powered pump, which is linked down below. All right, so if you guys aren't certain how solar works, basically this solar panel right here brings energy from the sun, powers this little pump right there. That tube goes to the end of that tube, and it pumps water into wherever it is. So before we start all that process, we should probably go and fill up the pond. Now we have a double connection hose, so I can always fill up my pond with this, but I can always bring it over here for when I have like a pond build over here, and there is another hose on the other side that we hose down the wood with. So we got two hoses. Turn my hose on and turn that on. Now I'm gonna let you guys watch the pool pond fill up, but during that I'm gonna go see how I can make a filter. I may not, but hold on. Here's a little tip. When filling an aquarium up, you don't want to go like this, to fill it up, because that gets all the dirt all mixed up with the water so easily. So doing something like this, having it pour off, drip off of something else, and then into the water, helps it not get super murky, because as you can see, it's actually pretty clean except for some of the leaves and wood chips that got in it. So I fed the goldfish already, but let's go say hi. Come on. There we go. Look at that. Look, one of the koi is getting really good, I hear, but I have some, I should have, oh, there's another koi I see down there, and there's my other one. Okay, so I think they're all here. I think I have 3. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I only have 3 in here, and they're not dead, so I'm assuming they're eating something, which is good. So guys, sadly there is a baby leak coming out right there, which does happen with even if you have other pools. The one I have linked down in the description is a bit different pool, and it's actually kind of like a pool, like a pond liner. It's kind of like a pool pond type of one, an above ground one that's more flexible, more rubbery, and more affordable, transportable than these ones. So go check that out. but I'm gonna show you what I can with this filled up so far. Now, one important thing is to make sure your pond is always level. I learned that with the construction of my big pond because it is not completely level. One side is maybe off by a couple inches, and also I own this pond skimmer net, so what I can do and not have to use my hands but just scoop out all of this muck or dirt and wood chips that's in the pond. So now it's all clear and I don't have to worry about any other dirt and stuff. And as I showed you, when you're putting your water in, making it drip off something, it becomes a lot more clear. It's not murky at all, which would happen if you're just like flinging the hose all around and you don't really take precaution because your water could get dirty. So this is the setup so far. You have your main rock, you have your little rocks as your substrate, you have that little wood piece which fish can kind of hover around, like because that will move around during the day, and so will the fish. They'll kind of hunker over it. And the fish cave is going to be to where if they ever need to go and get some shade or hide from a predator, that's where they're going to go. Now with me having DIY filters, I don't have a big pump or like a big canister filter to keep out here, which is why I like to use the fish cave. Sometimes I'll use buckets or little bottles as filters, and sometimes I'll actually put the filter on that rock and then it drips off of that rock into the pond. So it kind of acts as a double whammy, as some might say. And that's what we're going to be doing today with this filter that I made. Now normally I would use this type of filter, this a bucket filter I made in a different pond video, and it's a little big for this pump, but I will still show you how it works, and it should still work pretty well. So as I meant with this, it can just sit like that right there on top of the filter, and when the water comes into the top, and as you can see, it's already running because it sees sun. So I'm going to face that down. I'm going to get our pump in and our tubing and put the tubing in here, up here, and in this filter is actually, first it has filter pads, and then after it has biological media such as little bio balls and lava rock, because those after a while collect beneficial bacteria which helps your pond and water be more healthy. These are all tangled up, so give me a sec. Okay, so the pump that I happen to have actually has an outlet to where if it's not sunny enough or it's running at night, you can plug it in and it will go full power. But the pump isn't fully set up yet, so I'm not going to do that for right now. So I have the pump. Normally what I like to do is have the pump on one side, because when this water comes out, all the dirt gets stuck in the filter, but the water that comes out pushes everything this way. So any other dirt that it did not get will go back to the pump. Otherwise, if you had your pump next to it, the water goes out this way, pushes everything over here, it's not getting sucked in. This way, it will. So I'm gonna grab my hose and put it in this filter, and what it will do, it will fill up and come out those holes. So it is ready to be turned on right there. So it should be working. So since this is a very small pump for this size of filter, it's gonna take a while to fill up. So I will leave you on a time lapse right here so you can watch it fill up and pour out. So guys, it is a little drizzle right now. That's mainly because I have such a big filter. I made it with big holes. So normally, if I were to show you to take this out, this is kind of how it comes out on full power. If you have a shorter hose, as mine, as you can tell, is super long, it will come out a lot more powerful. But that's what we got there for now. And as you can see, it does make a little bit of quite a little bit of oxygen once it starts pouring out. And I'm gonna put some dechlorinator in it. Now I have run out, but I use for my stuff, for my ponds, my outdoor ponds, and my tanks, I use Fritz. For my ponds, I use Fritz Complete, which is linked down in the description below. But I do not have any because I tried to order it, they got messed up, they shipped it to Ohio and not to my house. So I've been stuck using this API like fish tank stuff because I have a huge bottle of it. Thank you Priscilla and Ryan for sending me it because it's put to good use. So here's the dechlorinator. We're gonna put it in all around the pond. But now I'm actually gonna go to the pet store and actually get some minnows and a few goldfish that I will end up be putting in my big pond. But just to show you guys what it looks like with fish, I will go get those. So we are gonna go get those in 3, 2, 1. But guys, before we try to add fish to the pond, I actually just received my Fritz Pond Complete in the mail. So it finally came in. So guys, go click the link down below. I have other things. This will be in the section of products I use during this video. So go click that down below. It's also further down in the description. You can get it along with a bunch of other great Fritz products for your fish tanks, some like live beneficial bacteria that they sell. so you can instantly add beneficial bacteria to your tanks and you don't have to cycle it. So go click that, and I've used it, so it's a great product. So go check it out. Fritz Pond Complete if you have a pond. Literally the best pond conditioner you can have if you have a pond. So guys, right now I'm actually going to be doing something that I have never done before, which is actually finesse my fish. I'm going to, because I can't go to the pet store right now, but I'm still, actually the pond got a crack, so I'm going to have to fill that back up with water, dechlorinate it, and then I'm going to scoop some fish and actually show you what the pond is like with fish, because I'm scooping my own fish out of my pond, finessing them, and putting them in the pond that we just made. All right guys, attempting to catch my own fish. Let's go. Okay, so I got two. One of them I don't want to use. Here's one I don't want to use, but I will use one of these ones. How did he get out? Wait, what? Okay, it looks like we won't be adding fish to this pond, but just to show you, like with some smaller goldfish, they eventually will get bigger, but with a pond this size, it actually is a pretty good size for any types of smaller goldfish, rosy red minnows, other types of cold water fish that stay relatively small. And remember, as you can see with some of my goldfish, that they actually get to a pretty decent size. So be careful of that whenever you're buying goldfish, that they do, upcoming years, they do get pretty big. But for now, smaller goldfish, rosy red minnows, they would be great in a little 20-gallon pond, and maybe even some small musk turtles or juvenile or baby red-eared sliders. Okay guys, the pond's done, so let's go and show you the pond. Alright guys, that's today's pond. We got the wood, we got the filter, we got the fish cave, we got the extra little rock, we got everything part in here all done. So that's it. So guys, as you know, the next big project is the actual pool pond. My big 10 by 10 foot pool pond. And this is where we did say that we were going to put it, and that is where it's gonna be. So over here, what I'm basically gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to level this whole thing. Because it's all rocks, so I'm gonna have to get rid of all or a good amount of the rocks, level it off. It's a lot of hard work, so bring me some encouragement down in the comments below, because this is gonna be a lot of work. So guys, the positive comment shout out does go to Michael. Nice ponds, new subscriber here. Your progress is well in your videos. Have you bounced from the trampoline into the pond yet? No, Michael, I have not. That is a cool idea, but my pond is not deep enough for me to actually safely do that. I mean, dangerously, yeah, maybe it's possible without the net on it. But that's today's positive comment. Thank you, Michael. If you guys would like to be featured in a next future video, put down a positive comment down below. So guys, and today's Bible verse of the day is 1 Chronicles 16:10. Glory in his holy name. Let the hearts of those who seek in the Lord rejoice. Also guys, when you put your heart out to God, you rejoice, you feel better, you feel refreshed, you feel like a new person. But guys, those who seek the Lord rejoice. They find joy serving him. We find joy serving him. I find joy serving him because I like to share Bible verses with you. That's a way that I can serve God, by bringing verses and encouragement from the Bible to you guys on YouTube. So thank you all so much for watching. And guys, remember the pool pond, it's coming along. I hope you all have an amazing day. Let me know how you like today's video with a positive comment. There's a dragonfly. With a positive comment down below. I hope you guys have an amazing day. And yes, I'm in California. There are fires around me, not super close. We're staying safe, and I hope you all stay safe out there. Peace, love, positivity. Oh, before we stop, fire merch down top link below. If you guys haven't copped your merch, there are fire new designs. I personally ordered a bunch of new stuff that's going to be coming in the early September. But then when I wear it, you guys can actually see what it looks like. But if you guys want to get it, like by the time I get it, fire new designs, teespring.com/stores/Fishvisions. Go check it out, and I will see you beautiful people next video. Peace, love, positivity. Find your vision and follow. Be a visionary today and subscribe. Hit that little red notification bell. Subscribe button. This is a bad outro. I will see you guys next video. Peace.